So, left and reserves, 5 Panzers, 5s, 3 StuGs, and a company of Panzergrenadiers with a heavy weapon platoons attached to HMGs. So this is the battlefield, a train station. The attacking force, the British, supported by American paratroopers over here, paratroopers here, Recce company, and the British armored. So there are 2 divisions on the board here to 1500 points. Over here, the defending force of Panzergrenadiers. Over here, we have the first platoon of mechanized grenadiers, Panzergrenadiers, without their half tracks. We have the company HQ and tank hunters down here. It's first and second IC. And over here we have 2 Pak-40s. The second objective is over here, just below the road and behind the forest. The Panzer Grenadiers also have 5 Panzer force in ambush. So they will probably pop. So that is the battlefield. So all the British troops are moving up, aligning them alongside the hedges over here. And the American paratroopers are trying to cross the terrain. So in the shooting phase, the British troops unloaded all their MG fire and a couple of main guns from the tanks and the 2 HQ trucks into these Grenadiers. The Grenadiers took 3 hits and lost 2 troops. So that was quite lucky, but they did get hit on 6s, so that's pretty good. So that's the board right now, and on to German turn. So in the German turn, the second command moved up behind the Panzergrenadiers. The Panzergrenadiers dug in and went to round. The first IC and tank hunter team scoot over a little bit, but nothing else. These 2 Pak-40s shot at these 3 tanks, missing everything, so that was not nice. Oh, only the one gun shot, of course, because only one can see. The other gun shot 2 shots at these trucks, but they hit 2 times, but they saved due to their Recce infantry save stuff. And then my Panzers came in and ambushed, put all their shots into this platoon. They hit 3 times and killed 1, so that's 5 hit to this platoon. So they lost 1 and got pinned. So now the platoons behind them are a little bit stuck unless they can remove the pin. So that's everything for now. Just a close look at what I'm looking at. So the Brits unpinned and moved up, and the tanks stood still. The 2 combat platoons stood still, and the HQ moved up. They fired the main guns into the dug-in, gun-to-ground Panzergrenadiers over here, putting 1 hit on them because of 6s, and they failed. No, they took out 1. Sorry, they took out 1. They put 3 shots into the guns from the 2nd combat platoons. 3 hits, but 2 were on the gun and 1 on the leader, and they managed their 5-up save and the 3-up save. So that was great. They tried to fire the mortar and a lucky shot over here, but it didn't go. They could manage the 6s. So on to German turn. So the German first IC and tank hunter team drove up behind the house. And over here we stood still, gone to ground, and the Pack 40 shot at 3 tanks there, did nothing. And that pack shot at the platoon up here. As you can see, it is diminished, but it is not the fault of the pack, because they did nothing. But the 5 Panzers IV shot everything, almost everything they had into it, and pinned them and killed 2, causing a motivation test, but they passed. The Panzer IV commander took his shots to the tanks up here, but he missed. So that was it for the German turn. So the Brits moved one of the recce platoons and the HQ up on the side here to match the Panzers. The Pen platoon moved back, and the Jeeps moved up, making space for a Sherman combat platoon going into a firefight with the Panzers. The HQ shimmied up a bit, and the Shermans on the flank are preparing to take shots again. In British shooting, they bailed out a Panzer with the Firefly from here. They moved over before, and these 2 tanks shot their main cannons at this gun, but they failed. The 2 Shermans with HE fired into the woods, but missed even with reloads. No, actually they got 1 hit, but I saved it. Yeah. So in the German third turn, both our reserve rolled in. So the StuGs rolled up to hide behind the hill, and the half tracks went over the tracks, or most of them did. 2 of them got bogged down. All got out. Most of them in the woods. The 2 bogged down couldn't reach, so they just have to hide behind the other half tracks. They took shots into the platoon of recces, getting them pinned with the help of one of the Panzers. The rest of the Panzers, those who could, fired down at these Shermans. And they managed to hit 1 time and bail a tank. The Pack 40 down here took the shot at the HQ platoon, but they couldn't hit anything, so they are still alive. And over here we just stood still again, going to ground, because, yeah, we don't want to fight tanks. So this is the situation right now. So, at the end of British moving, the 2 companies platoons over here stood still. The Pen platoon continued moving back. The combat platoon stood still. The Jeeps moved up. The paratroopers moved up. The recce trucks moved up, and the HQ is trying to hide behind the rock from the StuGs and the Panzergrenadiers. Now on to shooting. So the British shooting, they took out 4 stands in the woods, but it is a 9-man strong company, so it doesn't hurt anything. Or so I say. But over here, the 2 non-bailed out tanks took shots at my Panzers, and the Fireflies missed, but the normal Sherman actually popped a Panzer IV. Over here, these 2 tanks took shots at the Pack 40, taking out the command team. The 3 tanks here fired, or the 2 Shermans fired with their HE ammunition into the woods, but missed. So the Germans are moving up into the forest with their infantry and around with half tracks, one of them unbugged. The StuGs are now on the hill, looking down at the paratroopers and the trucks. The 3 of the Panzers stood still, but the commander leaped a bit forward to get into short range of these tanks here. Also, our tank hunter team drove up and have positioned themselves for a side shot here. And the first CI is hiding behind the rock. And over here we have the second CI and the second platoon still gone to ground. And the pack can't move because they lost their command team. But now on to German shooting. So in shooting and stormtroop mover, we shot this down and then moved our stormtrooper move with the half tracks. And the StuG stormtroopered a bit back to get out of range of the bazooka down here. Over here we stormtroopered a little bit away from their machine guns, and our half tracks stormtroopered into cover. We're still in command distance, and everything else stood still. So in the British turn, the Brits moved up, both their second IC, the 2C, and their truck and the paratroopers. Over here the tanks moved up to try to take on the panzers. These two turned their turrets to take out the Panzerfaust Panzerschreck, and the jeeps came around to try to threaten my 1IC and my empty half-track. And these units didn't unpin still, but now they are staying still. And these are staying still to take shots at the woods again. Over here, this of course unpinned, and they succeeded their motivation tests. So in the British shooting, the two tanks and the jeeps pinned my HQ and took out the Panzerfaust. Over here, some shooting went into the half tracks, but it didn't give anything. And the Shermans here, the two normal Shermans fired and bailed a Panzer IV. The Firefly missed. So on to the Germans. So the German StuGs comes down from the hill. The half tracks surround the paratroopers. The infantry scoot up. The half track down here actually unbugged, but tried to move over again and bugged again. Hooray! Our Panthers have now moved up, trying to get some nicer shots on the Shermans. Also putting some pressure on these jeeps because they are fairly close to the objective, and we do not like that. The HQ didn't unpin, but wheeled around. The second IC came over behind the house, and these are still gone to ground and dug in. So on to shooting. So in German shooting, we took out a couple of jeeps. We took out a command tank here and bailed the Firefly. We took out the first IC and bailed the second IC. Then we assaulted over here. Shot and assaulted over here. So we took out the second in command who was left down here from the recce platoon, and we took out the second to last platoon over here from the recce too. We got in with our tanks into the paratroopers. We killed a couple, but killed a tank, and we failed to hit back in the second attempt, so we had to fall back. But we got the entire HQ from the recce team and their last platoon, second to last platoon, so there were only one platoon and they couldn't roll company check, so they died. And over here they failed their company morale to survive with the bailed IC2. So that will be a win for the Germans. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.